anybody want the Lord to make them over? Just begin to celebrate Jesus. Hallelujah. You know my other side. I can no longer hide. Let you down so many times. My open wounds. I just want to be more like you. Father, I let you down. Must not like you, just take it out. Reconcile me, Jesus. I just wanna please you. Wash me and make me whole. Everybody sing it, Lord, make me over. Does anybody want the Lord to make them over again? Anybody tired of messing up time after time after time after time? Anybody ready for change? Make some noise up in this place. Lord, make me. Lord, make me. Anybody tired of the evil ways? Does anybody want God to make them over? Take out everything that's not like him. Hey, Lord, make me over. Lord, I realize, Lord, there's some things in my life that are you not pleasing. Oh, yeah. Lord, I'm tired. Every day at the same time, it's the same thing. And I'm ready for change, Lord. If you want to change, I want the building. Let me hear you say, oh. Let me say, oh. Let me hear you say, oh. Lift your hands in the building and say, oh. Make me over, Lord. Make me over. All over, come on. Make me over. Put your hands in the air. Good Lord. Do it, Lord. Make me over again. Do it, Lord.
What's up, everybody? This is your girl Creole, Butterfly Libra, Butterfly Coco 929, coming to you from YouTube. Okay, I'm actually on YouTube, not StreamYard today, and coming to you from the great state of Kentucky, where the women are beautiful and the horses are fast, or the horses are beautiful and the women are fast. It just really depends on what you like. I want to say happy birthday, happy Kinseyada, happy bar mitzvah from Lottie Dottie in every darn body under the sound of my voice. Okay. Um, I'm the old brother. What? The smooches. So you get a smooch, you get a smooch. Everybody gets a smooch. So, okay. I hope you all listen to that song. If y'all heard some noise in the background, my son just went in the bathroom. So, okay. But yeah, I hope you all, when you need something, I hope you play that song. That was by Tone. It's called Make Me Over. Okay, Make Me Over, one of his biggest hits. And yeah, I love that song. I really do love that song. Okay. Um, so let me apologize for yesterday, y'all. I actually caught myself gonna set my alarm clock and get up and do my live because I get a update 3 days a week. Okay, so I went to bed, and when I went to bed, I went to bed, and then this morning, um, I was supposed to do one at 9 o'clock. I didn't mean to set it for 9, so I thought I changed it. It was actually supposed to be for this time right here. So I do apologize. I love you guys. I really, really do. Okay. So let's get her in. All right. And to all my new subbies, smooches to you. Thank you so much. Mwah. I hope you feel that. And if nobody told you that they love you today, I do. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. You're going to learn today. Anywho, let's move on. There was many things I wanted to talk about today. Okay, I've been privy to a lot of things that's going on the YouTube world. Some is unbelievable, and then some is like, yeah, I can believe it. Okay, let's get into rejection. Okay, there is something called the spirit of rejection. And I came on once before and I kind of was walking you all through certain spirits that's connected to that. And so I want to get into that real quick. All right. Rejection is closely linked to several other behaviors and psychological responses. Okay. Let me give you, the definition of rejection. Okay. Uh, Rejection, the dismissing or refusing of a proposal, ideal, etc. Okay. Some people are reluctant to try it because the fear of rejection. So there is a fear that can come along with rejection. What's up, the cynical one, boo? There is a fear that can come along with the spirit of rejection. So that's where I'm going with it. That's why I told y'all the spirit of rejection, okay, which is a spirit. You understand what I'm saying? A lot of people have experienced rejection from the first person in their life that was supposed to teach them different things, which is a parent, okay? Some men um, battle with relationships because of the rejection of their own fathers. Okay, maybe the fathers was supposed to be in their life and wasn't for whatever reason, and so they felt that rejection of the father. A lot of women go through rejection because absentee parent mostly is the father. Okay, then sometimes the mother rejected the child. What's up, Shakeaboo? Sometimes the mother rejected the child because of whatever relationship it was with the father. I remember, I remember, um, my friend used to say, "Oh, I can't stand that little B." You know, I am not for a parent calling their child out of their name. I'm not that parent, so please don't do it around me, okay? And she actually Me and her fell out because of that, because I got tired of her calling her son a little mother ucker. I can't stand that little mother ucker. He just like his no good daddy and blah blah blah. I tell everybody all the time, it's a poor frog that don't honor its own pond. You picked him. You picked him. So if he ain't no good, what does it say about you? Okay, I digress. Let's move on. So, and that child hears that, and you wonder why they don't do well in school, and then they grow up and they got this type of, disposition within themselves. It's like, well, what did I do that my mom didn't love me? That she couldn't see past my dad, what he did to her, and treated me as a secondhand stepchild. And so when you see adults like it, there's a lot of y'all. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of adults that is on soup, on this. What am I trying to say? That word just went out of my mouth. Like on Facebook, on YouTube, and all of that, you can tell that they are hurting. They have issues. Okay. And a lot of people come to YouTube and a lot of people go to Facebook to live out a life that they wish they had. You hear me? And, where in the world can you create a new life without spending a lot of money? YouTube. There's a lot of people that come on YouTube that's hurting. And because of me being a minister and because of me being a therapist, a retired therapist, I hear and see a lot, not to mention the prophetic, okay? We ain't even gonna talk about that because I hear and feel a lot and I see a lot. When people begin to, I just listen. That's the skill that we got. We listen and we hear what you don't say, you know? So, my thing about the spirit of rejection, let me get back to that real quick. Okay. How do I know if I have the spirit of rejection? I'm glad you asked. I am glad you asked. Some of the things, one of the things about the spirit of regression, it makes you aggressive. Okay. How you deal with things can be aggressive. You become isolated in some areas. You know what I'm saying? Depression hits different and you become depressed more. Okay. Um, you're very sensitive. Like things make you very sensitive, you know. Um, you socially isolated. Like you isolate, like how it be pretty outside and people rather stay online than at least go outside and breathe air or ground or whatever. They become isolated. You know, my thing was my thing was this. I always wanted my children to do better than me. I went through a lot of things so they wouldn't have to. I was their springboard. Use the struggles that your mama went through and stand on my back to reach your goal. And I'm proud of every last one of my kids. Every last one of them I'm proud of. They all successful adults in their own way. Okay. And what I mean by that is they're loved, they're healthy, they pay their own bills, they all gainfully employed. Some make a little bit more than others, but they all have a job. A couple of them are in counseling. They felt like they needed, so they went to counseling. To me, that's very successful kids. Now, to some of y'all might say, oh, boo, it ain't nothing. Well, to me, it's successful. And I got successful grandkids. I got two of them that graduated same day, same time, same place, different schools. Both of them comma laude, okay? Both at the head of their class. One's a male, one's a female. One's going to medical school. The other one is going to a 4-year college. Free ride. Both of them got free rides because they got scholarships. See, successful, winning, winning. So, mama, me, granny, see, when they tell the story of their grandmother, they can honestly say, "What's up, Burbert?" That's why I tell y'all my story. I don't care what y'all think about me. And what? When they tell the story of their grandmama, they can say, "You know what? My grandmother, she was in the trenches. She was in the trenches. You know, she worked at McDonald's. She was a waitress. It's other things. She was a stripper. But I ran my own stripping business. Get into that. I didn't work for nobody. Me and one of my best friends at the time, we had a banging body. We were chocolate and we could dance. What better way to make money? Okay, little side money, straight up cash. Okay. I ain't gonna tell y'all what our business name was, but I became a dominatrix. I did a whole lot of things. Okay, a whole lot of things. I used to hold for some street pharmaceutical people, a couple of them, just a couple, cause they trusted me and I trusted them not to put my life in danger. And I used to get paid for that. Okay, so you do what you can and what you need to make sure your kids is taken care of. At least I do, and that's where I came from. Women who I'm gonna take care of my kids. Now my kids didn't know none of that. You know how they found out when they read my first book? They were grown, most of them, when they read my first book. The other one was in their teenage stage, and the baby girl ain't pick up no book. She just now read it because she grown now. But when my kids read my first book, they came in there and looked at me, was like, Mama. They had no idea. And that's where I have a problem with, is when adults take away the children's naivety when they are kids. It is not their fault if they can't have Fruit Loops. Okay. I can't afford them Fruit Loops. Your daddy ain't paid me no child support. And blah. And it's not their fault. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just let it be no. Mama, can we have some Fruit Loops? No. Get that cereal next to you, honey. It's the same taste. Just get that right there. We'll get some Fruit Loops if y'all bring home some good grades. See how you do it? Don't take your children's innocence and then tell them to stay in the child's place. I can't stand that too. Adults be like, uh, talking to their kids. Blah, 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 blah. And then when they start acting ground, you better stay in the child's place. Well, which one is it? Bipolar? Because one minute you saying this and the next minute you saying that. Okay, moving forward. Anyway, y'all, let's move on. Let's move on. I wanted to get to angel. I'm going to talk about one angel today that you all are familiar with. Okay. And it's important. And the angel's name is Lucifer, aka Satan. Okay. Who's that texting me? Lucifer, aka Satan. All right. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, please. And I do have a goal if anybody wants to participate with my goal, or if you want to send a girl a cash out for some coffee tomorrow, because I got some coffee today. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You know how most people be like, I ain't got no. Yeah, I got some today. Hold on, y'all, because I did some. I hope y'all can hear me. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with this internet. It kicks me off, and then I never know. That's why I try to put up on my other computer, because then I can tell if it's actually working or not. So I hope you all can hear me. I hope you still here. I hate this internet. I hate this internet, and this is supposed to be the best internet it is, but I hate it. So I'm hoping that you can hear me. But if not, I'm gonna keep going with my. I mean, if you missed some, I'm gonna keep going with my commentary. I don't even know where I left off at. Let me go back and see if I can hear something. Hold on. Angel. I'm gonna talk about one. Hold on, y'all, because I did something. You're here, and then I never know. It's why I try to put up on. Dang, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. You know how most people like, I ain't got no. Yeah. Okay, so y'all missed everything I said about angels. Wow. Everything I said. I have been talking and I thought y'all could hear me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's just go to the angel Lucifer. Okay. If it starts spinning again, I'll just refresh and come back. Lucifer. That's where I'm at with it, okay? And I was telling you, I was giving y'all some history about Lucifer, all right? I'm sorry I didn't hear that history, but just to recap real quick, he was the one to bring God glory. His only job was to bring God glory, to honor God, worship God, sing to God, play to God, whatever, the music, how beautiful he was and everything. And that's the one thing he didn't want to do anymore. He felt like, because he was in, this is just ad libbing, okay? felt like just because he was the one to bring God glory, like put a smile on his face and all this and stuff, that he could actually take over God's heaven. So he got kicked out of heaven. Okay. And so I think we don't give Lucifer enough credit on who he is and how manipulative he is. Okay. So I want to check this out. Let me go here real quick. All right. La 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 la. Let me see. All right, let me read this real quick, okay? And then I'm going to teach y'all something about one of your superheroes, okay? And how that superhero is connected to the Bible. Gotcha. All right. So, Revelations, okay? No, yeah, let me go to Revelations. Hold on. Oh, let me finish this. Okay, so this is what I was saying to you guys. I was saying about when a child is younger, okay, and how they can grow up with the spirit of rejection in them as well. So let me tell you this. If you go to Proverbs 22 and 15, it says, "Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from them." And I remember I found this when my kids was younger, because I got a degree in biblicology. That's what I call it, biblicology, okay, and Bible. But when I read this, I was like, okay, because I was one that believed in punishing my children when necessary, and the last result was whooping their butt. Okay. Now, other than that, you get on the punishment, but if you still, then I'm gonna drive it far from you. And so this is the verse I stood on. And a lot of people are neglecting this verse when they're raising their children, and they're wondering why these children are going crazy. Okay, let me read this again. Foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child. Foolishness, they automatically have foolishness in their heart, their kids. How can you reason with a child that has not learned? Okay, that's why I tell everybody talking about you need to talk to your children. Well, you talk to them after you teach them, because other than that, you can't reason with a child that don't know. It's like talking to a wall. It's not going to respond. It has no idea. Okay. So foolishness is bound up in the heart of a child, but the rod of correction shall drive it far from them. So you have to be able to correct your children and make them productive adults. Okay. They become adductive, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Productive adults. Okay. All right. Moving forward. I just wanted to give y'all that. I didn't want to leave you talking about children and then I didn't give you the rest of that. All right. Let's go. All right. Now, getting into Satan, aka Lucifer. I'm going to read this to you guys. I always like to give y'all a reference from where I'm coming from. So, Revelations 12th chapter. I'm starting with the 7th verse. It says, "And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels." Okay, so that's letting you know. Okay, remember I told y'all that the third of the angels fell with Lucifer. Okay, so they are actually summons up under him. They are his angels. Okay, so think about that. They all angels. Some good, some bad. They all angels. All right, and angels fought angels. So you really think they don't have power? Think about that. Okay. And there was a war, I'm saying it again, in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. The dragon was Lucifer and Satan, y'all. Okay. Lucifer, aka Satan. And the dragon fought and his angels. So the Bible's letting you know that the dragon, not only did he fight, but so did his angels. Okay. Okay, it was a conflict. Now, let me tell you about Michael real quick. Let me touch on Michael. Michael is the warring angel. And I used to teach my church, because y'all know I'm a pastor. I used to teach my church that when you pray and there's a fight to be had, you ask God to send the warring angel Michael, or Michael's legion of angels, okay, to fight on your behalf, because Michael is in charge of war. Michael is the warring angel, okay? Michael has never been defeated. And per the Bible, he would never be defeated. So as long as you serve God and you want his, you can actually ask God to send your warring angel, ask Michael to send your warring angel to fight on your behalf. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Okay. Um, Dragon represents evil. When there is a presence of a lot of evil, y'all, there is another spirituality at work. All right. Let's go to verse 8. And prevailed not, neither was their place found anymore in heaven, meaning that they didn't have a spot in heaven anymore. Okay. The dragon and his angels are not strong enough to prevail in the Bible, okay, and are subsequently kicked out of heaven. Michael warned that he won the war, as we knew, as God knew. That's why he told Michael, get to that. Go on, get to that. Okay. So, verse 9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. Okay. So he got all those names, which deceiveth the whole world. Think about that. I just said that. Which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth. Okay. And his angels were cast out with him. All right. So let me tell y'all, the Bible is written, and some of you all who've been following me for a while, you know this. The Bible is written in chronological order. Okay. The way that they want to tell you the story. Actually, the book I'm going to go to now to prove something to y'all, that's actually should have been the first book of the Bible. Okay. And but they wrote it so you can have like this happened first, like this is how this came about, this is how this came about, this is how this came about. So that's how they wrote it instead of writing like the very first book. All right. So when you see the world has started over, okay, there's many times that the world has started over, and I know some of y'all like that's not true. It actually is. And even if I don't say nothing but Noah, that should prove to you guys that the world started over. Because what did God do? He flooded the earth, okay, killed off everything but those that was in the ark. So if he killed off everything, then that means the world started over, correct? Okay, so let's not argue that point. All right. So, but the world has actually started over. And my calculations and from the studying I'm doing, it is actually started over at least 6 times. Okay. Now that's debatable, but at least 6 times. Let me make sure y'all can still hear me. Because like I said, this computer, you know. Okay, so and one of the times was when Satan got kicked out of heaven and he fell to the ground, him and his angels. Okay, when he crashed to the ground, that shook the world, okay, catastrophically. And it became dark. Darkness fell upon the earth, okay? And that's actually another scripture that's also in Revelations. It talks about darkness and blah, blah, blah. That was the time when, and y'all do know it was two sets of angels that actually fell. It wasn't just one, it was two. Like two different times, angels fell. I know. Y'all tripping like, what? Yes, two different times angels fell. My thing coming on here today to talk to you, one, some of my butterflies was like, you haven't done a Bible study lately. You haven't, which is true. And I knew I haven't. So I said, you know what, today I'm going to come on here. We're going to talk about how much we underestimate Lucifer, Satan, the devil, and his kids. Okay. I used to tell y'all all the time, Cain had kids. Okay. And with so much darkness hitting the earth at this point, you really have to know your opponent. See, those that got a lot to lose don't carry themselves the way they used to when they had nothing to lose. I'm gonna say that again. Those of us who got a lot to lose ain't gonna be out here scrapping with you. I ain't one, I'm cute. You know, when I was younger, I was cute and would beat you up. Okay, because people think because I was 5 foot, like I'm short, but I'm real tall. I was 5 foot, had a nice little body, all that stuff. they used to think, oh, she's cute, she can't fight. Lies you tell, and they found that out too. Not only can she fight, but she does fight, and she fight all day long. Okay, that's just what she did. We gonna start at bring your lunch, your breakfast, your midnight snack because I ain't gonna stop until I want to. And the way that my temple was set up, my stamina was amazing. Okay. It was amazing. But when you got things to lose and you become an adult and give your life to God or you just want to be better, I got grandkids and kids and stuff. I ain't gonna be out here scrapping with nobody. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Call me a punk. I'll be whatever you call me. I'll be a punk. I'll be a sissy. I'll be scared. I'll be all that. Matter of fact, shout out to Just Kimmy. I'm gonna say this right here. I'm scared of all of y'all. I'm scared of everybody. Okay. You hear that, YouTube? I'm scared of everybody. I am. I'm scared of everybody. Okay. See, when you got things to lose, you fight differently. I told y'all, I'm a court person now. I believe in going to court. And since I'm still registered with the Department of Defense, I'm a commodity of the Department of Defense. I'm gonna use that to my advantage. I ain't gonna fight. I ain't doing none of that. I'm gonna contact the Department of Defense and let them handle whatever. If it goes down, it just go down. Seriously. So I got too much to lose. I got grandkids that love their grandmama. I'm healing. Coming out of old health issues and all this stuff, and I don't want to lose my house and everything like that, and all the things of the things. So I'm not gonna fight nobody. I'm not. And that's mature. Okay, that's a mature way of thinking about things. And like I said, a lot of people uh, dealing with the spirit of rejection. And when you know that people are dealing with the spirit of rejection, you don't argue with that because they need healing. Why would you argue with something that the enemy is projecting? Satan is pushing their rejection spirit. Satan is telling them that you just like their mother, their father, their cousins, their grandmother, whoever rejected them. The reason why they got these issues, they see them in you. So nothing you say or do is gonna win them over. So I don't argue that fact. I give it to who? God. I don't fight my battles no more. I give it to God. Seriously. And ever since I've learned how to turn it over to the man upstairs, I have been better. It's less stress. I sleep better. Who is this texting me? And yeah, Lucifer has a lot of power. Let me tell you, let me show you why. And this is what let me know that Lucifer had a lot of power. Okay. I'm gonna read y'all something. And y'all probably have heard this before as well. Okay. Let me read you something. It says, and his son. Okay, let me just read from verse 1 down. Okay. You may not ever hear this in church, so I hope you're hearing this now. Okay. La 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 la. His son, okay. His son, now. Okay, here we go. Starting in verse 6. Now there was a day when the sons of God. Who's the sons of God? And I'm gonna put a quiz out here today. But who's the sons of God? You know who the sons of God is? Angels. They are the sons of God. So when you read the word and you hear sons of God, that's angels. Okay. So it says, now there was a day when the sons of God came to present, yeah, I heard my son, came to present themselves before the Lord. And Satan came also among them. Now hold it, hold it, hold it. The sons of God came to present themselves. They came to God in heaven. Are you hearing me? They went to heaven to present themselves. In other words, to say, hey, Father, hey, God, I'm here. Um, you know, I'm being accountable. And okay, think of it like that. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I don't know if this fascinated me. This changed my whole look on the devil. Okay. Because, well, I want to go ahead of myself. Okay, let's go to verse 7. And the Lord, this is God, okay? This is God. The Lord said unto Satan, whence cometh you? Whence cometh thou? Like, where you coming from? Okay, in layman's voice, where you coming from? Then Satan Y'all understand what I'm saying? Hold on. I'm reading per Bible. Then Satan answered the Lord and said, let me make sure y'all can still hear. Okay, yeah, it's still good. Okay. Satan answered the Lord and said, from going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. Did y'all hear that? Let's break this down. First of all, it blew my mind that Satan was kicked out of heaven. Okay, I read that to y'all. Satan was kicked out of heaven. Okay, and angels with him. And then he had a war with Michael and lost the war and his angels. But when it was time to come to God, to show yourself, present yourself, or whatever the case may be, to talk to God, Satan was able to come after trying to take over heaven. God still considered him a son, and he had access to heaven. Access to heaven after trying to take it over. After having a fight, he still had access. And God had a conversation with him. He actually had a conversation, asking him, where you been? Son, where you been? Because remember it said the sons of God. Where you been? I'm in the earth, turn it up. I'm going to and from. I'm turning the earth up. I don't know how it don't fascinate y'all and it don't make you understand the power that Satan has. And for him to even say he's in the earth, why does that not shock y'all when y'all see his powers demonstrated through people? Okay, anyway, let me go on. From going to and fro in the earth and from walking up and down in it. Okay. And the Lord said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job? Not, I need you to stop doing what you're doing. Not, I'm gonna cast you back down into the pits of hell. But well, since you're doing all that, have you thought about my servant Job? Have you thought about my servant Michelle? Have you thought about my servant Sharon? Have you thought about my servant Tanya? Have you thought about my servant Kevin? Have you thought about my servant Michael? Have you thought about my servant Sean? Since you want to do something, since you turn up the earth and all this and stuff, have you thought about, thought about any of them? Then there is none like him in the earth. God has so much confidence in who he made Job to be that he challenged Satan to go against Job. Let me ask you a question. How many of us, hey Kendra Williams, hey boo, long time no see. How many of us could God say, okay, Satan, what about Kendra? Have you tried her? Have you tried her? How many of people could God say, have you tried? And God knew, and he had so much confidence that we would pass the test. Let me finish reading this. It says, there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil, meaning that he despises evil, he expels evil, he fears God. Okay. And what I got too, he called Job perfect. And there is none perfect, but God see him as perfect. It goes to show you don't know how God sees you. You don't know how God sees you. You got to actually see yourself as God sees you. Because to man, you may never be nothing. As long as you see, my thing is every day that I wake up to see what I can do that will make my father happy. I know people don't wake up like it, but I do. Okay. I've been doing it even as a kid. Okay. You got to realize something. I am one that went through a lot as a kid and in had to embody it, I could say, because even as a kid, I had to get good grades. Okay. But I was being molested. I had several bouts of rapes. I It was incest going on with me. All of that. It was a whole bunch of stuff. But yet and still, when people saw me, I smiled. When people saw me, now I had an anger issue. I was gonna have something. I was going through all that. Okay. I was going through all that. So think about that. I still had to become this person and all this and stuff. So my thing was, and the reason why I tell everybody about this and I tell everybody about God, I know some of y'all be like, oh, she gets on my nerves. All she talk about is God. Because with everything that went on with me, the one thing I did not do is lose my mind. Don't y'all know I should be certified crazy right now? Seriously, I should be like sitting in a padded room, playing with my boogers, rubbing my lips, hitting my head against the wall. And here I am sitting here in my right mind, teaching everybody else about God and still learning of his goodness for myself and still telling y'all no matter what you go through. And that's why I always say, no matter what the test, always do your best. There's a method to everything that I say. Everything. No matter what the test, always do your best. When you do your best on the test, God is the one who actually marks it. He's the one that grades your test. And when you do your best, believe it or not, most of the time you pass it. Satan is divisive, y'all. If he was able, after all that he done, to get up to heaven, to have a conversation with God with the other angels, he's got some power. It means he's got authority, and he's got authority in the earth. He's got authority in the earth. Let me tell y'all something. The other day, I was sitting here and I told y'all God deals with me differently. All right. I don't know how he deal with nobody else, but prophetically he deals with me differently. Okay. Not only I don't like to claim this, but because everybody named mama claimed to be a prophet now, whatever. It seems like the going rate. You bad prophet, you bad prophet. So whatever. I'm God's favorite daughter. Not only does he speak to me, he showed me things and I heard things. Okay. But I was sitting minding my own business watching a movie. Okay, and God interrupted my movie. He really did. I was in the middle of enjoying this movie and he interrupted my movie. He don't have to ask permission. He just does what he does because he's God. Okay. And he showed me something. Have y'all seen a dome? Have y'all seen like a building that's a dome? Okay. And like I said, not only does he speak to me and I hear things and all that and stuff, I'm also what is called an intercessor. All right. And intercessor would be in layman's, like the world's term, it would be a what do they call them people? Oh, I forgot the name of it. But anyway, let me make sure y'all can still hear because this computer does what it does. Okay. I'm an intercessor. And what he showed me was he said he showed me the dome and he said prayers are going up but they're hitting the top of the clear dome and they're coming back down. And my people are wondering where I am. Why aren't I interfering in what's going on? Why am I letting this happen? And why ain't I hearing and answering their prayers? He said, because the dome, the enemy has put an invisible dome. And so when your prayers is going up now, those with sincere prayers, when they're going up, but they're hitting this dome that the enemy done put in place, and they're coming back down unanswered. So there are people like myself and others that are intercessors. What intercessors do is punch a hole through the dome so that whatever the prayers of the righteous is asking can actually reach God. There is a scripture that says the prince of Persia and blah, blah, blah had to fight to bring you, okay, what God had ordained for you to have. That's why it's not good to change your mind midway through when your prayer is on its way to you. For the simple fact, for the simple fact that By the time the angel is done fought on your behalf, you done changed your mind. So the angel's on his way bringing you what you're asking God for out of your prayer heart. He's on his way, or she's, the angel per se, it's not sexual, but the angel's on his way bringing you what you're praying for, and you getting mad because it's done been 2 weeks and you don't see no results. So now you're like, you know what, God, I don't guess you want me to have it, so I'll quit that prayer. So now the angel is right at your door, has to turn right back around and go back up because they can't come against your will. So now you don't have the prayer answered. And there's a lot of unanswered prayers, a lot of unanswered prayers because people change their mind right in the midst of God bringing them the prayer, the answered prayer. And now, let me tell you something. A lot of y'all, God has a lot of things for y'all, but He can't give it to you because of the people that you're connected with. Because if they're cursed and you're blessed and you're still going to stick with them, that's holding your prayers up. Especially a lot of y'all know that God done told y'all several times to break away from some people, to cut some people loose, to break away from some people and all this and stuff. And you keep holding on, hanging on, you keep being around them, and you wonder why God is not sending you what you're asking for because you're still connected to the cursed thing. Any cursed thing, you cannot be blessed. Oh, shoot. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute, y'all. This is my line guy. Hold on. Okay, so he said somebody already paid my line bill. Look at God, want to do it? Come on, okay, and put a smile on my face. Okay, so y'all, I try to bring biblical colleges and biblications to you on a relatable manner because you should be able to live what you believe. Okay, you just should. You should be able to live what you believe. And I know sometimes people make it to where it's unlivable, but it's doable. It's very much doable, y'all. And I want y'all to know your opponent. The devil don't play fair. He's got power in the earth. I just read that to you guys. He's got power in the earth, okay? And so let me finish up this scripture. It says, have you considered my servant Job? Then there is none like him. And okay, I did that one. Number 9, then Satan answered the Lord and said, do if Job fear God for now? It means he fears you for nothing. You mean tell me he just fear you? You ain't promised him nothing. That's how he's talking to God, okay? Has not thou made an hedge around him? You ain't putting no protection around Job, you know. And about his house and about all that he had on every side. In other words, you mean tell me you ain't protecting him, his family, his things, his mind? You got a protection around him. Thou has blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land. But put forth thy hand now and touch all that he had, and he will curse thee to thy face. This is what Satan is saying. Okay? That's what Satan is saying. And there was a day, I'm sorry, and the Lord said unto Satan, behold, all that he had is in thy power. Only upon himself put not forth thine hand. In other words, I'm trying to blackfy this for everybody, okay? God gave him permission to touch everything in Job's life. Everything. Only thing Satan couldn't take is Job's life. He could even touch Job's health, but you can't take his life because his life didn't belong to Satan. His life belonged to God, and God is bordering. He's bordering with Job's health. He's bordering with Job's life. So when we get to thinking about and we we look at if we look at the orange guy now, think about it. I know everybody's asking where is God and all this, and how can He let the orange guy do what he's doing and cut people off SNAP benefits and cut people off this and cut people off that and end this and do this and all this and stuff. Don't you have you not read what I just said? God barters, and I have an issue with this, don't get me wrong. God barters with our life. Okay? He barters with our life. Bartering means I got this if you got that. We can switch. Okay? So I'm looking at history, Job, where God actually offered up Job as a bet. Basically, if you read Job, I'm coming from Job 1, y'all. If everybody wants to know where I was coming from, Job 1. God offered Job as a bet. In other words, I bet you that Job will still serve me, and I'm gonna let you do whatever you want to do to Job. Only thing you can't do is take his life, because his life don't belong to you. But go ahead, since you in the earth already, and you turn up the earth, you doing what you want to do in the earth. You got that power to destroy the earth. You doing whatever you want in the earth. I'm gonna let you touch Job. We're gonna see. So y'all really think that situation ain't happening now? That God ain't saying, you know what? Go ahead, Satan. I'm gonna let you talk to your son and let your son and his people do whatever they want to do in the earth. Go on. And I guarantee you, those that are mine are gonna still serve me. They're gonna still believe in me. They're gonna still have faith in me, and they're gonna still love me. I guarantee it. So go ahead. Go ahead. Stop benefits. Stop SNAP. Cut Section 8. Do all the things. But watch my people love me more, talk to me more, come to me more. Y'all don't see it like that? Think about it. Think about it. It's history repeating itself. And I just want to come and encourage you and empower you that no matter how bad it gets or you feel, know that it's not surprising God. And some days I find it hard because it's like you wake up and you don't know what this man gonna go to sleep and think of and then wake up and do. But just like me, okay, just like you, God is over him as well as us. And nobody can stop this man or stop the evil one because it's really not even him. Okay, God is allowing this to happen. He's allowing it. Now the thing of it is, we got to ask, why is he allowing it? Okay, that's the question. Why is he allowing it? Only person that knows this is the man upstairs. Again, it could be a thing to where, oh, okay, Satan. Once again, once again, we're gonna have this debate. I trust my people, and I trust that my people will always serve me, love me, worship me, no matter what. Now, I don't want to leave y'all right there to where you think there's no hope or anything like that. So let me tell you something. If you keep reading, you'll see what I and I'm gonna come and do a part two with Joe as far as what all he went through. But I want to get to what you're gonna one of the things that you're gonna go through when it comes to Job. Hold on, let me get to the last. Hold on. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Here we go. I am okay. So it says okay. So right here. We're going to go to the last chapter real quick, and it's Job 42. Job 42 said, and 10, and the Lord turned the captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. Also, the Lord gave Job twice as much as he had before. Okay. And these are the friends that, these were some friends here. And it was said that after the Lord had spoke these words unto Job, the Lord said to Eliphaz and Timid, my wrath is kindled against thee. So God had gotten angry and put, turned against Job's two friends. Okay. It says, my wrath is kindled against thee and against thy two friends, for you have not spoken of me the thing that is right, as my servant Job had. Okay. Therefore, take unto you now. He told them what to do to get the curse off of them and all this stuff. So Ezaph, Lord, Ephes and Temad and Bala and Savet and Japhar and Navet went and did according as the Lord commanded them. The Lord said, accepted Job. Okay. And the Lord turned his captivity of Job when he prayed for his friends. So they had to go to the man that they dogged, which is Job. So y'all let these people say what they want to say about you, especially when you know you doing right and you got a humble heart and you're not trying to do no evil to nobody. You will always make people mad. Believe it or not, doing right pisses people off, if I could say it like that. Let these people say what they want to say against you. Stay right, do right, stand on business. Okay, stand on business, because the same ones that's dogging you and all this and stuff will need you. And sometimes God will let you be the one that'll bring them, because it's your prayers that'll help deliver them or make them free or bless them or whatever. Sometimes God will make sure that they know, you said this about this person, you did this to this person, and blah, blah, blah. That's why you're going through what you're going through. And until they repent and apologize and all the above, won't get no better. Now, it's up to you. So let me get to my last thing, y'all, because I know y'all like, oh my God, is she ever gonna get to this last thing? But I want to make sure you get it. Okay. I'm gonna have to update my title too. There used to be a superhero called Flash Gordon. Okay. Flash Gordon. Do y'all remember that? And I don't know where these, you know what? My next fallen angel is gonna be Beelzebub. I'm telling y'all that now. I might even come on later and do that because this fly done got on my nerves. Okay, I might come on later and do that. However, and because I owe y'all two, I didn't come on yesterday, so I owe y'all two. Okay, so if I come on later, it'll be for 30 minutes, and we'll be out for here. Okay. So, and then I'm gonna do an update on the child that was found that was kidnapped. His father's a piece of crap. Let me stay focused. Anyway. Okay, Flash Gordon. Okay, Flash Gordon ran so fast he became a streak of fire. That's how fast he was. He became a streak of fire. Okay. You remember the song Flash Gordon? Yes, let me see if I can find that real quick. Flash Gordon. Hold on. 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 Oh, let's see.
Help fuel your competition. Get 13 grams of protein with Tyson Dino and Mega Dino
You
Nuggets.
know,
Ugh,
YouTube
eating
is,
this
is
means a
worse than
nightmare
the
for
TV
me.
with all these daggone
I can already
commercials.
anticipate the stomach issues.
Hold on. Let's see if I can. Let's see if I found it right. Hold on. Hold on.
Savior of the universe. formerly at NASA, has provided any explanation. This morning's unprecedented solar eclipse is no cause for alarm. King of the impossible. He's for every one of us. Stand for every one of us. He's saving the body and every man, every woman, every child, every body flash. Flash Gordon approaching. What do you mean, Flash Gordon approach? Open fire! All the weapons! Dispatch War Rocket Ajax to bring back his body. Flash! Gordon's alive. Flash! He saved every one of us. Just a man's courage. You know, nothing but a man can never fail. No one can go Flash, I love you! But we only have 14 hours to save the Earth.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah. That was the theme song for Flash Gordon. I don't know if y'all old enough to remember that, but Flash Gordon was a superhero. And, when he ran, it was a streak of fire. That's what I'm telling y'all. It was a streak of fire. Okay. And I know y'all like, okay, Creole. And what does that have to do with biblications? I'm glad you asked. Okay. The biblications of all that matter. Okay. Girl, bring it up for you guys. Hold on. Flesh. Ah, yes. He's king of the universe. Okay. Yes. Flesh. Ah. Okay. Now, just to let you guys know. Okay, there we go. We got action, people. Okay. Just to let you all know, there used to be in the biblications um, a person of God. Okay, in the biblications there was a person of God, and Elijah. Okay, Elijah was very fast. Let me read this to y'all real quick, and I'll break it down for you like a fraction. Okay, all right. Let me get to the verse. All right. Elijah, and it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heaven was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel, and the hand of the Lord was on. Is that the one that I want? Hold on, y'all. Hold on, because I might have pulled up the wrong one. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. I think it says, okay, let me finish reading it and I'll make my determination. Okay. Okay, and Ahab rode and went to Jezreel, and the hand of the Lord was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins and ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. Okay, yeah, that's the one I wanted. All right, did y'all hear that? Okay, let me go to number 44 so y'all can understand. And it came to pass at the seventh time that he said, behold, there ariseth a little cloud out of the sea, like a man's hand. And he said, go up, say unto Ahab, prepare thy chariot, and get thee down, that the rain stop thee not. And it came to pass in the meanwhile that the heaven was black with clouds and wind, and there was a great rain. And Ahab rode and went to Jezreel. Okay. And the hand of the Lord was on Elijah, and he girded up his loins, meaning he got ready. He pulled his thing up, okay, not his penis, but he pulled his gird and stuff up, and he ran before Ahab to the entrance of Jezreel. In other words, Elijah outran the chariots. Ahab got his chariots and took off with his horses. He was on the chariot, running the chariot. Okay? Yeah, yeah. The chariot's running to get to Jezreel. Elijah told Ahab, take off. Ahab took off in the chariots. Ahab was king. He took off in his chariots while Elijah waited. Elijah ran so fast by the help of God, okay? He ran so fast that he outran the chariots to beat Ahab and the chariots that took off before him. When we're talking about chariots, we're talking about horses, okay? He outran the horses, the chariots, and everything to beat them to Jezreel and entered first. That is where the creator of Marvel, I think he's passed now. I think he died last year. If not, it was earlier this year. Okay. That's where he got Flash Gordon. He took it as he took the Bible story of Elijah and how fast he ran. In his mind, when Elijah ran, he turned into a ball of fire. So he took that and created a whole fictitious story around Elijah and created Fast Gordon. Okay. Elijah beat him on foot, y'all. Elijah beat him on foot. He sent him ahead of him, way ahead of him with his chariots. They was running. Okay, it was a race. They was running. He sent them. It's who can make it to Jezreel first. And Ahab just knew by him being on his fastest chariots and running and all this stuff that he was gonna make it to the entrance of Jezreel first. And he looked up, and here come Elijah on feet and beat him. It's a whole nother story that I can get into and make it relatable to today. That no matter where you start at, it's how you finish. And when you finish with the help of God, you win. In the end, we win. That's why I read the end of the story for Job. In the end, we win. We recover all plus some. God gives us tangibles for enduring what we endure. Now, I know there are people saying that we are at the end time and blah, blah, blah. And we most likely are. Okay. But if you really want to understand where we are and what's to come, read Matthew, which is in the New Testament, Matthew, the 24th chapter. You will actually find where we are. Okay. Matthew, the 24th chapter. That's you that when you read that, it should witness to you the wow, this is happening now. This is where we are. Okay. Okay. I just want y'all to know. My fiance is a huge Marvel fan. I explained to him that it's biblical. He has doubts. Ah, bless his heart. Yeah. Some people they just can't see, the correlation to the two. And I understand that. And then you don't hear a lot of preachers preaching about this because a lot of preachers don't know. A lot of preachers, they just don't know. They have to preach and teach where they are. I get it. I do. I get it, and everything. But I want to be relatable. I want people to, that's one thing my spiritual father, God, my first spiritual father, God rest his heart, used to say, what's the sense of reading the Bible if you can't live it? What's the sense of learning the word of God if you can't live it, if you can't apply it to your everyday life? You know, and a lot of times we take these biblical characters and we don't understand, like, how does it relate to me now? How does it relate to me now? You know, uh, prophetically, remember I told you guys last year that there would be at least three different diseases, and you know, there would be some they talk about, some they don't. And I told y'all that COVID is not going anywhere, and it's not. It's staying. It's like the flu. It's staying. It's not going anywhere. Okay, but I also told y'all that there will be other things. Now, I don't, it's so many things I want to talk to you guys about. I'm trying to wait to set up my membership because some things is going to only be for my members. Seriously, because I give too much information for people, and some tell me thank you, some don't care. Some take the information and never let me know that they take it until I hear them talk about it on their channel. And I don't never know. It be other people that listen to me that'll say, such and such and such, to try to make their people think that they came up with this when we actually heard it from you because they said it verbatim. Because they know I'm a small content creator. A lot of people don't even know about my channel. Even when I go on different people's channels when they own, and I'm like, thank you for your support. People like, Creole, you got a channel? They still don't understand that I got a channel myself. And I'm like, yeah, and everything. And shout out to Brian. Thank you so much for letting me know that you listen to me and you enjoy the commentary. Thank you so much, Boo. And I'm so proud of you. Keep up the good work. Catherine Powell, thank you so much as well. You always give me good props. I appreciate you so, 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 so much. Everybody who support me, I don't take it lightly, y'all. I really don't. And I thank y'all so much, okay? And everything. I told y'all I do everything but beef over here. Y'all got enough beefing channels. Have at it. Pick one, pick two, pick three. I want to stimulate your mind. I want to stimulate your inner man. I want to grow you in any way that I can. Okay. I want to encourage you. I want to love on you from the inside out. So, no, I do not beef over here at all. Okay. Do I support certain people? Yes. But I actually am not a part of the beefing sector anymore. Okay. Um, and that hurts me to say, but to me, the beefing sector is no more. I don't know what that new thing is that's going on. It's supposed to be beefing 2.0, and that's fine, but I'm not a part of that. I love the old beef sector. James Caldwell, Phi Babe, S underscore Hutchison, Sean Bradley, Lady Nika, VS Icon, uh, um, who else was it? Tim, um, Tim, him and Jay Wilson used to go at it all the time. Jay Wilson, and I know Miss O don't call herself a beefing person, but she used to be in the beef sector too. She used to have the Thunderdomes. I miss the Thunderdomes. Rita, Rick Reed, uh, this is just all the older people. And I know I'm missing some people, so please don't hold it against me. And if I really want to go back, T.S. Madison and Kaya and Armand Wiggins and what is his name? He still supports Spiller Boy, Justin J, and all the things, okay? All the things, all the people, and everything when beefs were organic. I miss the organic beefs. I miss that. Even Ness No Mess. She even came during the time when the beefing was organic. So I really don't call Ness 2.0 because Ness has been here. Okay, remember she used to be Craig. She. And everything. She used to be Craig. I never forget when it was exposed that she was a woman. I was looking at Jay Wilson the night when her camera slipped. I never forget that. It's like things like that. You know what I'm saying? That you remember, and that was old school, and yeah, I remember it used to be a time you couldn't wait to get on here, and Bama Girl. You remember Bama Girl used to be the place to be. You know what I'm saying? Bama Girl used to come on around 10, 9:30, 10 at night on Friday nights, and everybody would get their wine and everything, and you would look forward to it. You know, the panels was awesome with Rebel Son and rest in peace Lady P, and you know, I mean, just different ones. TCHBC Queen, and you know, TCHBC Queen and things of that nature and stuff, y'all. You know, me, Anthony McNeil, and you know, just different ones of us, y'all. We used to have a ball, and even in the chat, we used to have a ball, y'all. We really did. I forgot her name. She's a mod for Fat Babe. I forgot her name. Lord have mercy. But she used to be up on the panel. You know, just it used to be organic. We used to have fun. We used to look forward, you know, to going in places and stuff. And the you know, the beach sector used to be protected. It used to be a gated community. You know, the best of the worst used to be there. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, when I say I can't forget verbal assassin Deanna. You know, food junkie. I can't, you know, like seriously, you know, and yeah, man. Yeah, you know, and to those that tried to keep it to where it was a sacred space, because not only did the original beefs be there, the original money used to be there. Beef sector used to be the sector that had the money. Okay. Like seriously, not only did the content creators like have their money, QB, you know, not only did the content creators have their money, but the subbies had money. Okay. And, you know, it wasn't a thing about, you know, participating financially because of what people were getting. You know what I'm saying? Like we were getting organic stuff, real beefs, real life stuff. And I remember, and a lot of people don't like to give Fat Babe her flowers. And I will say this, and y'all know I normally don't even really mention her name over here and everything. It's no beef because that's my blog mother, duh. So you know, I just don't mention her name because a lot of people use her as clout. Okay, so I just try not to use her name at all. But I will say this because you got to give people their flowers. Fat Babe and QB was one of the only content creators outside of Sean Bradley, okay, that really gave back to their people. I'm gonna say that again. Fab A and QB always had things to where they gave back to anybody who wanted to be a part of the thing to give back. For Christmas and just we just creating this thing. If you can answer these questions, you can win. You know, you can win this money and blah. And they never asked their people to donate to give back. Okay, y'all can say many things, but QB and 5A they funded that themselves. They never told their people, "I need y'all to support this so that we can do this." They automatically showed up with their funds to give back to people. Even what they would call the ops. Even if you came over to answer questions or whatever, if you answered them correctly, you won the prize. It didn't matter. Let's keep it 100. Okay. So, yeah, you got to give people their flowers, y'all. You got to tell the truth. Some of y'all won't tell the truth because y'all don't like people, and I've never understood that. The truth is the truth. Whether I like you or not, I'm still gonna tell the truth about you. Okay, it's not saying I like you. I'm just an honest person, so therefore I shall tell the truth. A lot of y'all can't do that. Y'all won't give people their flowers because y'all don't like them. And it's another thing that I've said before that people got mad at me for saying. So you're gonna be pissed off again, you know, and it's best to be pissed off than pissed on. You see, you feel me? You know, another thing I used to say, Fabe, Fabe. I'm gonna say her and I will say mother. Okay. Now, if we talk about the amount, I'm going with Fabe. Okay. Fabe is the only one that I know that could come on YouTube, give her commentary, and before she even starts talking, people are cash apping her, are super chatting her. before she even opens up her mouth to give her commentary. She's just, hey y'all, hey, and already super chats, boom, 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 boom. And she's like, thank you for the super chat, y'all. Thank you. And all this and stuff. People get mad at that, but that's the truth. That's the truth. Y'all can hate her all y'all want to, but that's the truth. And if I was a betting woman, I would bet that when she come on now, people still super chatting her and cash apping her, and she don't even have to ask. And I think when a lot of people saw that, it started this thing to where y'all can send me a cash out. But the difference is people having to ask versus her not having to. Let's keep it real. Last but not least, y'all do know that the government has reversed what Biden did. Okay. Biden actually made it to where your medical debt does not count against your accumulative debt, meaning you could still get a house and a credit card and all of that, even if you had medical debt, because they felt like the medical debt shouldn't affect your living situation, because mostly everybody and mama got some form of a medical debt. However, Grump, the orange guy, and his cronies, that y'all do know he did stack the Supreme Court. Do y'all remember him not picking the Supreme Court? If y'all don't, you better go back and do your history. Anyway, Grump and the Supreme Court or whatever, his people have reversed that. Now your medical debt actually affects your credit. So if you got any old medical debt, if you had a surgery and you still owe $20,000, I'm sorry, your credit grid take a hit. What they're trying to do is widen the rich gap from the poor gap. There is no middle class. All of you all that is happy to be middle class, there is no middle class. There is none, nada, nilch. Okay? There is rich and poor. Forget poor. Poor. We can't even afford the OR. They're rich and poor. That's it. Some of you all may not be as poor as others, but you're still poor. And they're widening this gap. It's for a reason. Remember, I told y'all to go look at the Hunger Games. I said they're going to try to make this like the Hunger Games 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Go look at the Hunger Games. Familiarize yourself with that. You'll know how to pray. All right. We don't know how far God is going to allow this. Right now, God is allowing a lot. One, because He wants His people to trust Him and to turn back to Him. You know what I'm saying? Remember how when COVID hit and you didn't know if you was going to die, if somebody came in your house and everybody was praying and going to trying to go to church and all this and stuff, it was more prayers going up and more trust in God than it had ever been. Okay. But once you start seeing your light, and we came out of this COVID stuff, people start turning away from God. They start dropping out of church. You can't even get people in churches now. Where a church had 100 people, now they got about 20. So there's a reason for everything, okay? So, I wanted to tell y'all that, okay? The government has reversed the curse, okay? To where if you got medical debt, get ready to see that again. One, because they're stop. Think about the timing, y'all. They're cutting medical, okay, for a whole lot of people, and where Medicaid would pay the remainder and all this and stuff, it's not doing that no more. So if they're cutting that bill got to be paid. They feel from somewhere. So where you used to could write it off and it not affect you, now they're making you responsible for that. Okay, I just want to tell y'all that I love y'all. And like I always tell y'all, no matter what the test, you gotta always do your best, okay? So just know, make arrangements to pay your bill if you can, okay? And let me let you in on a secret. Come here. Come here. I'm gonna whisper something to y'all. Okay? You ready? I'm gonna whisper. As long as you pay $1 on your bill, they can't mess with you. Okay? I used to do credit stuff and everything. As long as you pay $1 a month on your bill and you keep doing it, they can't mess with you because you are paying something. If you're working, I would pay $2 a paycheck to pay off my bill. And as long as you're consistent with that, they won't mess with you. Yes, they'll send you a bill that say we need this amount and we need it now. We need it now. But as long as you're paying and you're consistent in what you're paying, they can't mess with you. That's just that's between me and you. Don't tell nobody, okay? Don't tell nobody. So since they reversed it, Grump, his orange people, his orange self, and the Supreme Court has reversed the curse to where now your medical bills is considered debt. Okay, it's considered debt to where Biden had it to where it didn't count against you as a debt. Now it's considered a debt and it counts against you. So, you might want to just start paying. Okay. You might just want to start paying. So we talked about where Flash Gordon came from. We talked about fallen angel Lucifer. We talked about him being able still to go to present himself to God even after he did everything. I showed y'all that he does have power on the earth. So when things happen on the earth, stop thinking that it's God. Okay, not everything's the devil, not everything's God. You got to know, but that you know that you know. Okay, we talked about the debt. And I think what else did we talk about? Am I forgetting something, y'all? So anyway, like I said, if I do come on later today, we'll be talking about the 7-year-old little boy that was kidnapped and returned and how his father ain't crap. Yeah, I said it because new video shows that his father ran off and left his son out there, and because they couldn't get him, they took his son. No man, we're gonna get on to that later. All right, okay. All right. You gonna learn today? Okay, and let's see what I got for y'all. Hold on. What I got for y'all? What I got for y'all?
Domino's has the best deal ever.
Let's see what I got for y'all.
Topping for $9.99. I got secret menu.
Come on. You know the aim. I stepped in the water. You know the ache, oh. cow.
Eat green grapes and give you white milk. But if you think that's something, God's chemical laboratory of redemption took my black soul and dipped it in red blood. And I came out white as snow. Oh! Yes, sir. Come on, Zion. The angels in heaven sigh. My name.
Oh, Lord.
I stepped in the water, and the water was cold. You know yes, they have. Somebody said, how can a brown cow eat green grapes and give you white milk? But if you think that's something, God's chemical laboratory of redemption took my black soul and dipped it in red blood. And I came out white as snow.